Happy Researchers' Night. Last Friday was also Culture Night here in Dublin, and I was really delighted by the number of scientific organisations that got involved, because there's this idea that there's the two cultures, your artsy or your sciencey, and never the two shall meet. And that's obviously bunk. Our cultural norms and cultural values determine what sort of research gets conducted and gets funded. New technology can completely transform our daily lives. And I think that we as scientists don't talk enough, and perhaps don't think enough, about how our cultural biases inform how we conduct science. One of the starkest examples of this is the work of Samuel Morton. Morton was one of the founders of American Skull Ethnography, which believed that the different races could be viewed as different subspecies of human. Excuse me. And throughout the 1840s, he published a series of works called the Crania Americana, in which he ranked the races by intelligence based on their brain case volume, which he measured by filling skulls with buckshot and then weighing it out, because antebellum America was a simpler time, when all you needed to be a scientist was a really large skull collection, an awful lot of buckshot, and a can-do attitude. Now, in a country that hadn't yet gone to war over whether or not it's right to own a person, Morton didn't surprise anyone when he found that Caucasian skulls were the largest, indicating the greatest intelligence, while African skulls were the smallest, indicating intellectual inferiority, though he did acknowledge a spectrum of intelligence within this inferiority. Now, he was praised for his work. He was heralded as the father of modern physical anthropology. His work informed the justifications for racial segregation for decades to come, and his findings were wrong. I hope you saw that coming, but his findings were wrong. In 1978, Stephen Jay Gould published a paper attacking Morton's results. There were sampling errors, like overrepresenting Caucasian subpopulations with larger skulls, while overrepresenting subpopulations with smaller skulls from other ethnic groups. There was some goalpost moving, like saying that based on their skull shape, ancient Egyptians were actually Caucasian, which is a bit of circular logic. There were analytical errors. He didn't blind himself as to which skulls were from which group. He mismeasured some of the skulls. But what I find really fascinating and really unsettling is that Morton wasn't lying. He kept meticulous notes, which is a bad idea if you're trying to get away with fraud. He donated his weirdly large skull collection to the Academy of Natural Sciences, so other people could conduct research and discover any falsified results. He believed he was conducting rigorous science. He went in looking to investigate the differences in intelligence between the races, and he found exactly what a white American in the 1840s would expect to find. And I think about this study a lot. If Morton had been more critical of his own cultural biases, he could have challenged the prejudices of his day, but instead they contaminated his work, and they perpetuated themselves. And that's why it's tremendously important in any endeavour, in art or science or daily life, not to believe everything you think. Thank you for your time.